it kind of takes over your thinking, and then because you see what it does for a kid when they start focusing and they start building and they get their guitar done and they take it home to their parents. And I could tell you 1,000 stories of when the kid took that guitar home and the look on the parent's face was everything. That's all that kid needed out of that.
One of the unique things about SAA is that they offer a woodshop class, and that allows us to get our hands on physical objects in a 3D environment instead of just doing all things in our head while reading books or just studying like that. So it's very different from what we usually do in school.
27 years ago, a kid, his name was Dan Bacchius, was in my shop class, and he goes, "Mr. Cochran, I want to build a guitar." I had one at home, so I brought it to school and we just kind of copied it. Took a tracing and this and that, got going on it and glued up some plywood for the body and cut it out and started drilling out for the pickups, etc. And then we got started on the neck, and oh boy, what's a fingerboard and what's a fret? I don't know. So I got stuck, and then at that point I was so infected about literally building a guitar, I went out and found a local luthier to apprentice with, and he took me on for 3.5 years. I worked nights and weekends and holidays to learn how to do the guitar thing.
I like doing woodshop because that way I can learn new skills, and it takes a lot of work. I just want to try new things to see how it works and to learn more.
One of the great liberties that people have in a shop like this is learning how to take pieces of wood. This actually is mine. And what's fascinating is that the only thing I've been able to successfully build in the past is sawdust. So Dwayne is actually mentoring me, like he does with students all the time, demystifying the equipment, taking away the fear, and giving the journey of success, where you can take something and make it into something else.
This is very much of a growing experience for me, using these tools, using it with people, and helping others, those who need a little more help. It's a very easy concept after you get it, and I get to help teach other people afterwards.
It's fun to come in here and watch the students, first of all, learn from Dwayne. And then immediately, as true discipleship works, they turn and they start helping the next student and the next student and the next student. So a student is not simply learning how to create something for themselves, by themselves. This is a classroom setting where there's teamship, there's support, the responsibility of watch care and cleaning up after themselves and coaching each other, but working together individually on a project, but in a community setting that they all share in the journey.
This is my guitar neck I've been working on. I'm pretty close to finishing it. I just need to sand a couple more spots and then figure out what colors I want to use. But yeah, it's going to go to a Gretsch guitar. The hardest part for building my guitar is that it's a semi-hollow. So instead of just a solid body, I have to empty out some of the insides to make it the hollow parts. So
Building a guitar looks like it's a really complicated thing. There's an awful lot going on here. Body and a neck and a fingerboard and frets and bridges and pickups and knobs, all that kind of stuff, all the parts that go in. But when you start a guitar, it starts out as just a couple of chunks of wood glued together using a template, and we've got lots of templates. And so as you start the process, you figure out that real quick it's just basic woodworking, and then it's painting, and that's how you can do all the paint stuff here. This is an automotive type paint, and you work into dropping in the electronics, placing the bridge in the right place. You figure out and understand what intonation is. So, the keys up here and the distance from you know, the nut to the saddles, all that comes into play. And pretty soon you have a very complicated thing done in some easy steps.
The hardest part for this guitar so far is probably doing the cutting out, like cutting out the shape of my body and my neck, and like shaping things exactly how you need it to be, because you can always sand more off, but you can't put it back on. At least it's harder to do that, especially when you're getting so far into it. You can't just start over.
In the past, you know, I've wanted to like play guitar, but I've just never had the opportunity. My brother plays guitar, but I've never actually played guitar. But with this class, it was like the perfect opportunity to make my own guitar and to start learning how to play guitar. In most classes, you're just sitting in a classroom, just listening to teachers talk. Whereas this class, he like gives you some basic instructions, and then you can just kind of go and do whatever you want and have some fun with it.
We started this program and people would call me or text me, email me about, hey, how do I get this started in my school? So at that point we go, hey, well, let's just let them do it. And we started a little nonprofit, and we're educating other teachers from around the country, probably, I don't know, 18 to 20 right now that are doing the program. And you know, it helps their programs out, does good things for their kids, etc. So it's good for them.
You know, one of the great end products of Dwayne's ministry here, not only does the student become empowered by what they've been able to create, but then they take this, and we frequently see students who are then engaged in our worship service, leading praise, participating, taking the wood, the concept, into the reality of expression. He's built a relationship of trust. He's built a relationship that frees them to come and worship together, not only work together in this setting.
When I signed up for this, I didn't think that we would be making guitars. I thought we would be making like, shelves or salad bowls like you said. But I've always wanted to be able to play a guitar, and now here's my chance.
We've got some phenomenal kids that are willing to give back, talk, share, and go out and understand their picture, or the picture of what a Christ-like life would be out in the real world. And that's our goal anyway in life.